So in this video you will see the basic step-by-step process of hand engraving using gravers, or what some call stichels, to engrave on top of a ring. And right here you will see this is where I am trying to shape one of the gravers into a slightly better shape. These ones are quite old and they're a bit rusty, and I'm trying to get the shape nice because this little grinder is new and it's not even attached to the surface yet. Before I never had a grinder, so I couldn't properly shape them, which makes engraving quite hard. So with these little grinding wheels, it enables me to kind of get closer to the desired shape of the graver, so that it makes the actual act of engraving a little bit easier. However, after all these years of doing jewelry, I have to be honest and say that I am by no means a hand engraver. Hand engravers are highly skilled in this specific task, and they can also set gemstones, because the tools used for hand engraving also can be used for setting gemstones into gold and silver. And I am first and foremost a jewelry designer, then I'm a maker, and this is just one of the techniques that I'm practicing and I do for fun, and it's not something that I can say I'm highly skilled at. It's something that I'm still practicing after how many 20 years of doing jewelry. So hand engraving is definitely it's something you must practice every day. Every day you have to sit and you have to know exactly the angle that your gravers must be sharpened to. You have to keep them sharp, rust free, and really specifically focus on hand engraving rather than making jewelry or doing anything else. And only that way you will become really skilled at engraving into or onto jewelry and objects, knives, all kinds of things people do, engraving on motorbikes, you know, you name it. I also have the mechanized gravers that work with air pressure, that has the little hammer action inside the handle, but I bought it 2 years ago. It's still not set up. It's the blue machine you see next to the workbench. That's actually, it lets the air through the hand engraver with a little pipe, and when you press forward by pushing onto the metal, it activates the airflow, and it makes like a little chisel action. These engraving tools that I'm using, the gravers, are the traditional ones that you push with no air. It's just a wooden handle and you push it with the palm of your hand. And what the mechanized, the air pressure gravers do is it takes that pressure off your hand, to make the engraving easier and more precise, because the chisel or the pushing action is being done for you by the air pressure. So it kind of enables you to concentrate more on the design and the movement, instead of having to push, because you have to define muscle in your hand. You actually have to push quite hard but also keep it stable, and you will see in this video, because I'm not formally, I didn't have enough training in engraving to know which exact shape of graver to use for what step in the process. I just do whatever I want. I just have fun. I just play around and use a flat graver here and a square graver there, and they all have onglet. They all have different names and different shapes. There are obviously courses that you can do. I don't have the time. I I'm enjoying discovering what works for me as I do these pieces. So currently I'm busy doing this small collection of 13 signet rings, and what I'm attempting to create is this mini collection of how can I call it, like rustic, whimsical, ocean inspired jewelry rings that is almost, I don't know, I think it's my 1980s, late early 90s childhood that you know, the Little Mermaid and all of that. It comes out, you know, with things that you grew up with and you were raised on watching Disney, and you know, like that whimsical sort of ocean mermaidy, piratey vibe. That's what I want to get onto these rings. Obviously my own version of it, but it definitely stems from that fascination with, you know, the movies and the Pirates of the Caribbean, but even before that, Moby Dick, all of that just has this nostalgic, magical feel about it. So I'm trying to sort of get that onto the rings with engraving, but not precise engraving, because I can't do that precise engraving. I can just do like childlike, rustic line drawings, sort of my own style kind of thing. So that is what I am doing with this collection, and I am definitely going to show you more videos of the tools, the specific tools for engraving, and then I'll show you the shapes and what they are called, and I'll show you the workshop that I have recently moved into, and I'll show you all the equipment that I have that's not related to engraving but to actual jewelry making. And yes, so there's a lot of opportunities for more videos, for more kind of like what do you call it, content creation ideas. So put your ideas in the comments and I'll actually make them or attempt to make them. If you can think of anything that you want to see that is jewelry related, whether it's making, drawing, designing gemstones, engraving, melting or smelting silver, shaping, forming, those are actually all the things that I can show you. I just want to know, what do you want to actually see? Polishing, wire making, plate rolling. I mean, there's so many techniques that obviously not all of it is like sort of ASMR content because it's loud and quite abrasive sound. So we are going to have to edit it a little bit, but please let me know what you'd like to see, and I will try to make a video. I have been watching ASMR videos since 2012, I think. I was always, as a child, I got relaxed by certain paper sounds, and I didn't know why. I didn't understand what it was. And I think 2011, 2012, I had trouble sleeping, and I thought, let me go on YouTube and see what, I don't want rain sounds or any forest sounds or whatever people usually refer to when trying to fall asleep. And so I just searched for paper sounds, and I discovered this YouTube community of ASMR people, and I was blown away. I couldn't believe that, like, there were these people. And my first video I watched was, her name was Christine, and she was famous for she called it the cardboard cookie, and she tapped on this piece of round cardboard, and I thought, this is crazy, and it's also amazing, and she looked so sweet. And I don't know if she still makes videos, but that was my first video. And then I obviously discovered Maria's obviously the mother of the ASMR community, and I've always wanted to try it myself. And so over the years, I have purchased, I swear, close to, I mean, there's like in front of me at the moment 3 tripods. There's probably 5 more in the cupboard. Small, long, mobile ones, floor standing ones. I have lights. I have a reflector. I have a camera. I bought specifically an iPhone specifically for video, for its video quality. And this was already probably 5 years ago that I've been wanting to start this channel, probably more. And I've finally managed to actually start a channel. And for whoever's watching this, that I've never made a video like this, respect and hats off to everyone on YouTube creating videos and content for people to watch, because it's a lot of work and it's a lot of effort to get everything right, and you have to be so organized. You can see in this video I actually have 2 colored shirts on, because one section of the video was recorded a week ago, and then the other half was recorded this morning. So I should just wear the same colored shirt, then it's less obvious. But I've edited it all together. But it also just shows you, like, you know, how long does it take to actually finish a piece of jewelry. It takes long because you have so many other duties and responsibilities to take care of, and you know, it's a luxury to actually go and sit and produce designs without being disturbed to do other things, you know. So I have this opportunity now to create content in this amazing studio that's pretty quiet. It's quite nice. It's a quiet neighborhood, and I can record every morning, and I will try my best to record every morning and record whatever requests I get for videos. But for me, the aim of this channel is to really show people in a nice, relaxing kind of setting, an industry of how can I best put this? Quite a hidden industry. I mean, the jewelry making world is not really always publicly visible, and even though now in the last few years a lot of people will make content in their studios, and you can find way more content out there to actually see what it's like to create something from silver or gold. But all in all, it's pretty hidden. It's not always something that you can just walk into or see. And I find it still, after all these years, quite a fascinating job. And there's a lot that people don't know. There's a lot that people still don't know after all these years of having internet and, you know, having access to so much information. People still don't know what is the difference between 10 carat and 24 carat, and, you know, what's the difference between, I mean, shocked at the questions I sometimes get, and requests that people send in for having specific pieces of jewelry made. That's not always possible. So I hope that this will actually provide some insight, but also um, in a relaxing way that people can enjoy it, and that yeah, people can really have a look and learn and or fall asleep to or whatever they want to do with the videos. My channel is definitely inspired by two other channels. The one is called Ondo Studio, which is a Japanese ceramic artist, and Ondo Studio just makes the most simple, beautiful videos of pottery, and there's no music, or it's a little bit of music, and just so relaxing and lovely to watch. And then the other one is ASMR at the museum. I thought that that was absolutely genius way to get people interested in museums, especially kids, or because museums have learned that if they don't modernize their marketing or the presentation of what's inside, people will stop going. And I think a lot of museums have caught up to the idea of attracting the youth, or kids, to come back to the museum to see history and all these things. And the Victoria and Albert Museum thought of this genius um, channel to actually um, create ASMR videos of these conservation specialists doing work on specific museum items. And I thought, oh my goodness, like, this is absolutely beautiful and fascinating, because I think I missed my dream job, which was actually just working in a museum. Um, and I thought, oh, that would be so awesome. If I could work in a museum and I could just work with the jewelry section in the museum, that would be like a dream come true. Because like the dioramas and the things, the inner workings of a museum, I think I find it very fascinating. So that channel has definitely inspired me to create my own version of it. And I want to keep it very simple and very simple. That's what I want to do. I want to keep it very simple and informative. So getting back to actually what's happening in front of us, there is a little bit of wave action going on this ring. So you can see it's a little sailboat, and I'm just putting some water underneath the sailboat, and now I'm creating some texture on the boat, making some little details. And there you will see there's a microscope, which is very helpful to actually see what you're doing. And next to that is a little grinding wheel, and then that airflow machine that I spoke about earlier. And engraving can take, for a ring, can take probably a full day or 2 days, depending on your skill, depending on the design, depending on what style you do. And it is a lot of effort that actually goes into setting it up. Not only the work surface, but preparing the tools, and setting up the ring and letting it dry in that the heat activated plastic that you will see, the white plastic that the ring is actually sitting in is you can reactivate it. You see there, that white stuff, it's heat activated plastic, and you can activate it with hot boiling water or with a heat gun. And I found the heat gun is kind of the easiest way. And then what I do is I position it in there, and then I put it into the fridge for a few minutes, and then when it comes out, then you can put it onto the engraver's ball, and you can actually start working. And without the ring actually properly being stuck into something, whatever you use, and that uh, it won't work. It will be very hard for you to engrave if it's not properly mounted into or onto something. Um, and there you can see I'm still cutting into the ring, and you will also see me slipping a few times because, like I said, I'm definitely not a master at engraving, and slipping is a telltale sign that it's not properly sharpened, and it's definitely not, um, you know, a master's hand probably will never slip. And you know, there are people out there that have literally taught themselves how to engrave. My engraver, he is lovely, he is amazing, and he taught himself off of YouTube, which is incredible. I would not suggest anyone um, teaching themselves off of these videos because yeah, like I said, I'm not by any means doing this for formal educational purposes, but maybe you can take tips like the heat gun and all of that. I mean, you can always learn something. So yeah, I think the more you do it, the more involved you can get with your designs. And then I also know that there are things in engraving, because you can't use color, because you're basically putting an image onto metal, so you can't add color. So there are things like lines showing to the right side up means blue, and lines showing to the left side up means red, or something like that. I read it in a book some years ago, that there are classic rules in classic engraving that actually signifies specific colors. So if you have a family crest and the family crest has specific colors, the line hatch, the cross hatchings mean specific color, or it can indicate specific colors because it's on gold or silver. So it can get very involved. It's very, you know, because it's such an old technique, there are obviously rules and things to follow when you do classic engraving. But I am actually not following any rules. It's not even sharpened properly. It's literally just me drawing and scraping away on the surface to create this cute, whimsical little sailboat on this ring. And I graduated jewelry school in 2009. In 2009, it was basically like a year after we started to learn 3D modeling. And after I graduated, I still learned all the hand making techniques and, you know, all of that. And now barely anyone makes anything by hand anymore. It's all 3D printed. So I always say I am not a 3D printer, and I feel a lot of the times a lot of the designs that come out of a 3D printer has no soul, and it's a bit too sterile. And so what I do is I use components printed, 3D printed, maybe a setting for gemstone, but I can combine that with a handmade ring shank, so that you have the precision of a prong on a setting, but you also get the feel of it being handmade. So, you know, you have to move with the times, and you have to incorporate modern technology in your work in some way. And that's what works for me, is to kind of combine the two so that you get the best of both worlds. This ring is completely hand formed, so there is no the angles are not precise. It's very handmade, and I like that. And there are people that like that, and there are people that don't like that. And I am hoping that people will discover my work and they will enjoy my work, and I know it's not for everyone, you know, and that's okay, that's fine. So we are nearing the end of the video. We have 2 minutes left, and I hope that you enjoyed this video. I am definitely going to make more videos, and as I improve on editing and recording, I'm hoping to add a microphone, and later on a better microphone and better lighting and all of that to make it really cool, but still keeping this simple, lovely, very nice feel that I have tried to create in this specific video. So I hope that you enjoyed the video and that you learned something. And like I said earlier, like the video, subscribe to the channel so that you can help me to grow and make more videos, and comment so that I can see how you experienced the video, what you saw, what you felt. If you want to ask something that you're not sure of, I'm so happy to answer your questions. So I'll see you in the next video.